Okay. What's up everyone, my name is Nikki. I recently made this document with the help of the Ice Climbers Discord, where we noted down the important tech that Ice Climbers players need to learn, because there's a lot of people who come into the Ice Climbers Discord or just ask me and say, hey, I want to play this character, I want to learn this character, where do I begin? And because there's so much tech out there, it's really hard to distinguish what is immediately necessary and what can be saved for a later point, which you don't need right away. So this is why we made this document, or rather why I decided to make it and got the input from the IC's Discord. And for a lot of this tech, there isn't really a clear best resource on how to learn it and how it works. So I want to make sure that for all of these steps that you're seeing here, there is one video that just explains all the tech in there, shows you how to do it, shows you some use cases. And I figured I wanted to make this a fully scripted out video, but I knew if I wanted to do that, I would never get it done because it would be a lot more effort, and I feel like this kind of style suits me a lot better. I will try to talk about all of these things somewhat efficiently in a way that we don't waste too much time here, so that the video still doesn't run for too long. And at the end, we'll do a question and answer session where we talk about, whatever questions there may be. Of course, if you watch this on YouTube, you can always just write a comment and I'll be happy to help out and let you know what I think about whatever question you're having. You'll see that the first point here, being new to Melee, a lot of stuff here is very, very basic, right? Like this is stuff that people who just start playing the game independent of the character pretty much have to learn. It's, L cancelling, it's short hopping, it's jump cancel grabbing. This is why I won't be talking about this today. I might make a video on this in the future because this is just helpful for any new Melee player. But I want to make sure that specifically for Ice Climbers players, we're beginning by talking about the second column here, which is what tech do people have to learn who have some experience in competitive Melee, but who are completely new to the Ice Climbers. Let's begin with Wavedashing and Wavedash fast falling to ledge. Now you might ask, you just said that, basic Melee tech shouldn't be a part of this, right? But Ice Climbers Wavedash is very different from the Wavedash of Fox, for example, in terms of how, just the feel of it, and how you might want to use it. So, Ice Climbers have a really long Wavedash, as you can see. And it's important to be able to control this Wavedash decently well, and also act out of it very efficiently. For a lot of characters, you can just kind of do a Wavedash, and then what you do out of it is sometimes more or less set in stone. But Ice Climbers use Wavedashing as one of their main movement tools in neutral. Not, like a character like Peach who will do Wavedashes in very specific spots when they have like a small read on something. But Ice Climbers are spending a lot of their time Wavedashing around. So what is a Wavedash? How does it work? So just for those who don't know, at the top you see the input display, and I can create a recording and then play it back. Alright, so a Wavedash works by jumping and then air dodging diagonally into the ground. If you do it diagonally, like fully diagonal, then the Wavedash won't be like at maximum length. If you go a little bit more shallow than diagonal, so if you hold the stick almost fully to the left and then a little bit down, you'll get longer Wavedashes. And that is pretty important as ICs. You want to be able to figure out the spot where you get really long Wavedashes, but you don't end up accidentally doing something like this, because that really sucks, right? You want to make sure that the Wavedashes are as long as you can reasonably get them, so that you consistently still get long Wavedashes. And then another important thing is being able to do short Wavedashes, like this. The advantage of a dash dance over just like a dash, for example, is that as you're dashing, if I try to dash in a direction and then mash my C-stick in a direction, I can't do a smash attack, right? But once I'm out of lag from my Wavedash, I can do smash attacks, I can do tilts, right? As you're doing a Wavedash, your character is pretty much considered to be standing still as you're sliding like this, which allows you to do all the attacks you usually want to do. So Wavedash allows you to cover a lot of distance, it allows you to move outside of the ranges of opponents so that their attacks miss and then you can counterattack, and it just allows you to approach opponents from far away. You perform a Wavedash by jumping. Ice Climbers have 3 frames of jump squat. You'll see right here that I press jump. Popo, the main climber, starts jumping. After 3 frames, this is the 3rd frame, on the 4th frame he will enter the air, and on the 4th frame I will have angled my stick down and slightly to the side already. And then I just have to press LOR to initiate the air dodge and get the Wavedash out. Of course, this is, the basic Melee thing, just being able to Wavedash, but it's still really important that you feel comfortable wave dashing back and forth as ICs, and also that you don't waste time in between wave dashes. Great. Next up, we have grab into down throw into Nana forward smash. This is something that is very basic for ice climbers because it allows you to both build up a lot of damage and also KO opponents. So what it looks like is this right here. Once again, let me record this. Grab, pummel, down throw, forward smash. This is a very nice thing to start learning in the beginning because it kind of teaches you how you can make both climbers act with each other. How you can make sure that one climber does something and the other one is doing something else that is in line with what the first climber is currently trying to do. Now I've successfully activated the glitch where the CPU start jumping for no reason, so let me just put them back here and do it one more time. That, great. Alright, so you grab the opponent by pressing Z. The grab will most of the time land with the main climber because the main climber Popo, his grabs come out earlier than Nana's because Nana's always on a 6-frame delay. Then when you have the grab, you'll see, it's hard to see, but Nana is currently still busy missing her grab because only one climber can hit the grab, right? So as Nana finishes her missed grab animation, you can pummel once. Now Nana is actionable and now you're ready to throw. So once you've grabbed once by pressing Z and then pummeled with either A or Z, now you can flick down on the gray stick to initiate a down throw. And then after a little bit, you press C stick to the side to initiate the Nana forward smash, and then you see right as the opponent gets popped up, you get a guaranteed smash attack on them. That's how you, a lot of the time, want to finish your stocks. There's other ways to finish your stocks with grabs into smash attacks, but all of those are a little bit more advanced, and down throw forward smash is a good starting point that works against pretty much any character. However, one of the small difficult things with down throw forward smash is that the down throw of ice climbers is dependent on weight. So it might be hard to see, but if I pick my opponent Jigglypuff and I just down throw, it goes by really quickly. Like you hear that the climber like shouts, and then Jigglypuff has already gotten out of the grab before the scream is even over. But then if you down throw a heavy character like, let's say, Bowser, he's a pretty heavy guy, you'll see that the climber does the throw, and by the time their little scream is over, Bowser is still in the grab and then pops out a little bit after. So the timing of the down throw into forward smash changes depending on what character you're playing against. So you want to make sure that you practice it against most characters. Of course, you want to start with Spaceys, then you can move on to maybe slightly lighter characters like Pikachu, then you can move on to heavier characters like Peach, Marth as well, right? Just so you get a feeling for how quickly you need to do it depending on the character. It is still pretty lenient, so it's very easy, or it's very possible to consistently get against most opponents, but still it's important to be aware of that. And some characters like Jigglypuff, Game & Watch, they're so light that it can be nearly impossible to hit this. So against those, you don't necessarily want to practice it right away. For those, we have something else cooking up that we can then try out later. Alright, let's look at the next thing right here, which is just recovery with the ice climbers. It might sound strange that you should practice recovery, but since ice climbers have a recovery that depends on where the secondary climber is, there is a lot to look out for here. So the first thing that's important is that, let's say Nana is like somewhere else, and you're decently far away from her, you can still do an up B and have her join up with you, right? So if I like do this, right, and then Nana's done with a blizzard and I up B, she will join me. There's a pretty large bubble around Popo that will help him, or that will allow Nana to join up with him. So if I do this, and then I think you can see it right here, like right there. If I do this and then I up B, this is the range where Nana will get pulled to you. It looks really large, and it is, and this is really nice. In order for you to be able to do the up B and have Nana join up with you and fly all the way up, she has to be within that area, and she has to not be in tumble, so she can't be like spinning around in the air. She can be in the air if she like just jumped, or if she's just falling down without spinning in the air, without tumbling. Or Nana can even be on stage as you're somewhere else, right? Like I could do it like this, where Nana is on stage and then do the up B, and it'll still work. However, if Nana is not within that area and I do this, then this happens and I just fall down. So up B with both climbers, if you get the synced version, is very good. you also have a lot of drift with it, so I can do the up B and then hold all the way left and go this far. Or I can do the same thing and hold all the way right and go in this direction. So this is good to practice. Just jump off stage and try to recover with up B, so you get a feeling for how it works. Cool. Next up we have side B. So let's again begin by just looking at the singular version of side B, which is this, right? If you just side B with one climber, you just kind of do the spin and you fall down as you do it. It doesn't seem like a good recovery tool. However, if you mash the B button as you're doing it, you will gain some height. So I can, let me just get rid of Nana real quick. If I do the side B and then mash B really quickly, I can fly like up by a little bit, but I also go very far horizontally. That's something you do want to practice. It's just getting better at mashing like this and figuring out a technique that works for you. Some people switch the way they're holding the controller and use their index finger, for example. I just hold my controller the same way and just use my thumb to press B a lot. I kind of let go of the controller with my right hand to have a better angle to press the B button, but that's what you want to do. You can stop letting go of the direction, right? And you can drift whatever direction you want, but you have to keep mashing B in order to gain any height or distance with it. Side B can be done with both climbers as well, and it can get you really far. That was a bad example because I didn't mash well. So let's just look at this again. You can jump off pretty far, and from down here you can still very easily make it back, right? So you can even go out like this and you easily make it back. You need decent mash for this, and also the same conditions apply that if Nana is busy doing something else, she's not gonna join up with you, which is not the case when it comes to up B, I think. No, it's the same thing, right? Nana has to be like ready for you to act, so you can actually have her join up with you. But also the distance when it comes to the side B and having Nana join you is a lot smaller. Like in a situation like right where we just saw, I could just jump up like this in side B and she would join me, but or I can up B and she would join me, but for side B she has to be way closer to me. Which is why when you're off stage, if you have Nana on top of you, then usually side B is your best recovery option because you have a lot more drift with it. It has a hitbox out that can hit the opponent. Up B has the same thing, but the up B hitbox from Nana is a lot easier to avoid, and you have less lag upon landing. So practice just jumping off stage and recovering with both climbers, so you get a feel for like how that's supposed to go and how that works, and also get a feel for when Nana will join you and when she won't, because she's not always gonna join you, and you saw like right there she was actionable, but she just barely wasn't close enough. So yeah, the side B Nana synced distance is way shorter, and that's why sometimes, even though side B would be better, you will be forced to up B just because Nana is a little bit too far away. Great. Next up, we're getting into our first desync, which is the very most basic desyncs, which come from spot dodging, rolling, or grabbing. So a desync, basically what it is that you get both climbers at opposite rhythms. You see that right here. One climber is doing up smashes, the other one is doing down smashes, because as Nana is busy doing her up smash, I can input a down smash with the other climber, and then while Popo is stuck doing the down smash, Nana is actionable again, and then I can input a different smash attack for her. So they are kind of attacking one after another, and that's how you desync the climbers, or how when the climbers are desynced, you can attack in very fun ways. So how do you desync the climbers? The easiest way to do it is to, for example, do a spot dodge, and during the spot dodge, just keep holding down and hold a B. You don't even have to time it, you can just start the spot dodge, and as soon as you're spot dodging, you just hold down and B. Then Nana will do a blizzard as soon as the spot dodge is over. The same goes for ice block, so your neutral B. You can just spot dodge, hold neutral B, the ice block will come out. Same thing goes for when you roll. You can do a roll and just hold the B button, and Nana will do an ice block. It also works with smash attacks, for example, so you can do a spot dodge and hold C stick down, and as soon as Nana becomes actionable, she will down smash and Popo will be able to do something else, right? Like, I can do this, forward smash with Nana, jump with Popo, right? Only Nana will do the action, and you can buffer it, so that makes it really easy. And you can do this after doing a spot dodge, you can do this after missing a grab, and you can do this after rolling. Those are the most basic desyncs. Like I said, you spot dodge whatever way you want, and then you just hold down on however you did the on any stick. If you spot dodge using the C stick, you can't just keep holding the C stick down for the desync. You have to reset it to neutral really quickly and then hold that again. But if you just spot dodge by using the gray stick to spot dodge or roll, then you can simply hold the C stick in a direction because, yeah, the stick is not the one you're using to perform the first action. Alright, great. Now let's look at the next piece of tech we have, which is Wavedashing out of shield and Wavedashing into a down smash. This is just an extension of pretty much regular Wavedashing, right? Wavedashing out of shield is important because it's very easy to get stuck on shield as ice climbers, especially when you're trying to go for a lot of shield grabs or things like that, because those are the options that people are trying to play around. Any decent opponent will be looking for you to shield grab, so they'll try to avoid this one thing. So they will try to hit your shield with attacks that are spaced really well, where you can't get the grab, but if you do go for the grab, you don't really get anything out of it, right? So Jigglypuff does something like this. I can shield grab as hard as I want, I'm never shield grabbing this. However, the ways I have of punishing this, for example, are I can wave dash forward out of shield and then try to go for a counter attack. Or I can wave dash back out of shield and just keep playing neutral, right? Like after I avoided getting hit. So that's why wave dashing out of shield in both directions is really important to learn. And also, once again, because wave dash into down smash is such a strong option, you want to get good at using wave dashes in general, and also wave dashes out of shield into your attacks. So wave dash out of shield into a jump, wave dash out of shield into smash attacks in all directions, wave dash out of shield into dash attack, for example. Just get used to, first of all, like I said earlier, just wave dashing, and then also wave dashing out of shield into a smash attack. What we didn't talk about earlier, what was in the document, is wave dashing off the stage and then fast falling to ledge. This is important because ice climbers take a decently long time to fall to ledge if you just wave dash off. Every character pretty much wants to fast fall after wave dashing off the stage in order to grab ledge. For some characters, it doesn't make the biggest difference because they fall pretty quickly anyways, but still, there's no character who doesn't want to do this. The way you do it is that you wave dash off the stage, and as soon as your character is hovering in the air, right, you see right here, I do the wave dash, you see my control stick it's in a neutral position, and now that I'm just in the air, I flick down on the stick to make sure that I fall to the ledge just a little bit faster. And those maybe 2 to 3 to 4 frames you save by going to ledge like this, they can be the difference between you grabbing the ledge first and the Fox side B not being able to grab the ledge, versus the Fox side B hitting you and they grab the ledge and now you get comboed because you got hit by the side B. Sick. So next up, we have our first combo extension, which is the down throw into down air regrab. Down throw down air is something that people often see and mistake for a handoff from ice climbers. But we'll just look at the down throw down air handoff. Not the handoff, the down throw down air regrab, so that you get a better idea on what it is. Alright, so the way you want to do this is that you grab the opponent, pummel once, down throw, nana, short top down air, and then you dash forward and regrab. Let me do it one more time and record it so I can show you in slow-mo after. Like this. So, just to see what's happening. Popo does a down throw. The opponent enters the air. As soon as they leave the grab, this nana downer hits them. And downer from ice climbers has set knockback, so opponents will always fly just a little bit away and then be forced to land. And then you can dash forward and grab with the main climber and re-grab them before they can act. Opponents can escape this using Smash DI. Different characters want to Smash DI in different ways to get out of this. For example, Fox and Falco want to try to get down and away so that they can hit the ground and spot dodge before you can re-grab them. Other characters like Marth or Peach, for example, want to get up so they can double jump out and aren't forced to hit the ground. So this isn't a guaranteed re-grab every time, but it is a very strong option that you should learn how to execute. And once again, we look at the inputs, we do the grab, we pummel once, and then we input, after the pummel, we do the down throw. After we input the down throw, we input a short hop and then a down air with a nana, so that the opponent gets hit by the down air, and then as soon as Popo is actionable again, you dash forward and grab. Don't know why it didn't. Some weird replay shenanigans going on there. But you see right here, the down air hits, and then as soon as you're actionable, sometimes you can get a standing regrab, but you want to try to do a dash forward into regrab like this. Cool. Alright. So next up, we have full hopping into 2 aerials. This is pretty simple, but it's still something that you want to get used to doing as ICs, just because it will help you a lot against people who use platforms a lot. Let's say you're playing against a Fox who's like jumping around these platforms a lot. Let's give the Fox some percent, and let's just record Fox doing like some random stuff like this, right? Like the Fox is trying to not get hit, they're just jumping around. How can you try to hit them? Something you can do as ice climbers is if you do a full hop aerial, after the full hop aerial, you can do another aerial before you have to land. Of course, for most aerials, you will be forced to L cancel them to make sure that you don't land with any landing lag. But sometimes if you go for a full hop up air like this, and then you see that the Fox actually didn't go up there, instead the Fox decided to just land instead, you can react to that and do another aerial. You can also do a full hop aerial, and then right after do another double jump aerial to cover even more height. So get used to doing full hop aerials, 2 of them out of 1 jump, mix it up with up air and back air. Down air and forward air all take too long, so that you can't act out of them, or you can't reasonably get another aerial out before you land, right? You can jump after doing a full hop forward air, but you can't get another aerial out really. So yeah, that's something you want to practice, is these kind of aerials. You can practice up air into forward air, up air into back air, up air into down air. You can practice up air into up air. You can practice back air into up air. Back air, I don't even know. Back air forward air seems really hard. I wouldn't try to practice that. But back air, down air, right? Just try these things out and get a feel for how many aerials you can do out of a jump. Because doing this aerial and then just falling down and being vulnerable is much worse, of course, than doing this aerial and then coming down with another hitbox that protects you. You don't always want to do the second aerial. Another thing you can do is do the full hop aerial and then wave land instead of doing another one. But yeah, that's almost too advanced for this step we're on right now. But if you're very confident in your melee ability and your wavelands already, then this is something that even in this step is super worth trying out and getting used to. Alright, back to the list. Now we have short up auto cancel back air. So ice climbers have a really good back air, and luckily they can do their back air in a way where they don't have any landing lag. If I do a regular late, like a regular falling back air like this, right? I land, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 frames of landing lag, which is quite a bit for an aerial like this. But luckily, if you do a short hop and then instantly perform the back air, it doesn't have to be super instantly, there is some leeway to it. You can get a back air out that auto cancels as you land. So instead of having those, what was it, 10 frames of landing lag, you only have 4. And it still protects you really nicely, and it allows you to move much quicker across the stage. In addition to this, you can also fast fall the back air and still get the auto cancel. So you can move like this, right, across the stage, really quickly getting these back airs out, while also having almost no landing lag. And since you already have your back turned, Ice Climber's down smash comes up behind them, so opponents will never really know if they can try to punish on the ground, because each back air has such little lag, and there could be a really fast down smash coming, or there could be, you know, any type of movement coming after. You can do the back air and then wave dash or dash away to make it harder for opponents to lock you down on the ground. So get good at doing short hop auto cancel back airs. Start by just doing short hop back airs like this, and then once you get more comfortable with it, you can start mixing in the fast fall as well. Alright, one more thing. Some people often ask me how I personally perform these back airs, because there's some, it's not easy to go from one of the jump buttons, right? Like you see, I jump with Y usually, from using the jump button to pressing the C stick in a direction, which is why I personally, when I'm doing back airs to the left, I just press the jump button and then I use the base of my thumb to flick the C stick to the left. And when I'm doing these back airs to the right, I usually just use the A button. So I jump, hold the direction for the back air, and then press A. figure out which way works best for you. If you can get those with without having to use A, that's probably best. You can use the Z button as well. You can use a claw grip on the controller where you, instead of holding the controller like this, right, with your thumb over the face buttons, you use your index finger to cover the jump button, so your thumb is more readily available for other buttons like the C stick. But just try out what feels good to you. If you use A in the beginning, that's fine. If you can, I recommend trying to figure out a way to use either the C stick or the Z button. But it's not the biggest deal, especially the difference between A and Z. It's not negligible when it comes to this. So just do it in a way that works for you. And also, if it doesn't work right away, if a grip doesn't feel comfortable, keep trying, because sometimes it just takes a day or two for you to get used to it. You will know that you've messed this up if you see the ice climbers like fall over a little bit. Let's just show it one more time like this. If you do not get the auto cancel on the back air, you'll see that the ice climber is just like, you see Popo's head is like almost flat on the ground. Like he just hit his head on the ground because he missed the auto cancel. The great thing about, just to make sure that this is clear, because this aerial is being auto canceled, you don't have to L cancel it. What L canceling does is that a move that would regularly have 10 frames of landing lag, if you press L, R, or Z as you land, the landing lag will be halved, right? Because the game thinks that you're landing while doing the aerial, so it's like, all right, you're going to go through the landing lag of said area. And by doing an L cancel, you can halve that landing lag. However, an auto cancel ensures that you only have 4 frames of landing lag, which is as much as you would get if you just land without doing an attack, because the game thinks that the attack's already over, which is why when you do short hop auto cancel back airs, or any auto cancel aerials, you do not have to L cancel. And like I showed earlier, if you L cancel the back air, because you do it too late, like you do a landing back air, which is also good sometimes, then you have 10 frames of lag. But if you get the auto cancel aerial, you do not have to press any of the trigger buttons or the Z button, and you will land with only 4 frames of lag. So less than half as much lag as you would have when you do an L cancelled back air. So that's what you want to look out for. You want to look out for, are my climbers like falling over as they land? Or do they land and just like hunch down a bit because they're squatting a bit, but that just means that they're actionable again, right? But if they're falling over like this, then if I try to jump at that time, it doesn't come out. But if I do this, then I can jump again right away. Great. All right, so now let's get into some questions. What do people think about what we saw? So let me make this a bit bigger. Also, in case anyone wants to get like a screenshot of this list or something from the video, I'll just do this real quick. Just in case someone wants to do that. But yeah, great, now that we've done that, let's look at if people have any questions or not. All right. Will you answer questions, or is this basically something you want as a VOD on YouTube? This is a VOD, but also this VOD includes a question and answer. This is for the people who came a bit late, and then we have someone trying to viewbot me, thank you. Then there's Ender making fun of that. Down to Donner, my beloved, hell yeah. Claw grip for the win. Yeah, claw grip is great if you can get used to it. I highly recommend it, that if you're new to Melee or to playing the character, learning claw grip right away is definitely an advantage, I'd say. So yeah, of course, if you're playing on a rectangle, then it is much more convenient to just use the C buttons, the C stick buttons that you have, because you always have one finger that is dedicated for just the C stick buttons. So you don't have to change your grip or anything. On a box controller, this is a lot easier. All right, great. So I think we got done with the first part. And what I'm also thinking is that we might as well just get into the third part as well and make sure that part is recorded. Maybe we can just see how far we get, and then I'll upload these one after another at timings that make sense. Great. Hello, Junk SSBM. Just wanted to say it's awesome that you're doing this. You've been a huge help for me recently trying to get up to date with modern IC stuff. That's great to hear. I'm happy to be of help. And yeah, maybe one day I'll meet you as a fellow pro climber, and then we can do some ice climbing together in game. All right, cool. I'll go to the restroom really quickly, and then I'd say we just keep